Good evening or afternoon for those of you who are far behind us in time. Welcome to Villain Support Live. I'm going to be doing some filming tonight, and I don't know if Levi's going to do that too, or just do some talking or what, but we're going to have some fun.
Hey y'all, it's Levi, Member Solutions with Chris, of course, of Villain Support. I do apologize that I didn't get to do my opening like I normally do. I had kiddo right at that moment.
No, I just straight up stole it. Just
Yeah, here you go. Okay, you need to say something. You can say something. Just give me a minute.
Oh, okay. I thought Levi's talking to Tobias. I thought Tobias was going to say something into the microphone. I misunderstood. So I kind of sat here being like, what's he going to say? Let's see here. Good evening, children of the night. Stephen Lockie, you're really far behind us. Sorry. Oh, jeez, that was loud. This could have just shattered on my desk, but it didn't. So give me a second to deal with the stuff that just fell off my desk. Everything okay, Levi? All right. I'm shocked that didn't shatter.
There we go.
All right. I need to go put these in the kitchen real quick. This just fell off. I'm shocked that this glass didn't shatter when it hit my desk. I'm very lucky, but I'm gonna go take care of these real quick.
Now, real quick, Patrick Turley is a new member. Thank you so much for joining and becoming a member. Stephen, Colleen, Quacken, the Wheeling Dragon, AJ, Leo, everyone. If you guys have a Twitch and if you'd be so kind, if you guys can go over there, that would be great. Twitch is 100% monetized, so is YouTube, but we tend not to have any ads over here during the live streams because we can control the ads over on Twitch. And if you're a member over on Twitch, this is the benefit. Twitch members don't deal with ads at all. And the great thing about it is that if you have a Amazon Prime, you can become a member over there without having to pay anything extra as long as it is connected. So yes, like Rusty says, please join Rusty on over there, say hi and everything. The more people that we get over there, the better it will be. That is the best place to honestly watch the stream currently. We are working on getting it set up a bit better. Waiting a little bit on Chris to do that. 4 so far. we have to promote it a bit more, and we have to do more traditional things on there eventually. I need to do gaming. Both of us need to probably game a little bit.
I got acoustic foam.
Oh, look at that. You're going to have to put that in the sink, and you're going to have to rinse it out and then dry it out. And
wait, what?
Yeah, when you open it up, there's instructions that you need to soak it underneath water and everything, and then rinse it out and dry it out, and then you can hang it.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. That's the thing. Look at that. Open, like you can open it up and look. It tells you in the instructions.
The other option is just let it sit for 24 hours.
Trust me, you want to rinse that out.
But this says you have to alternate drying and blow drying.
You don't have to blow dry it. I just wring it out really good and then just let it dry out naturally. Especially in the summertime, it will dry out super fast.
Well, then this might not get put up for a couple weeks until it's warmer and not wet outside, so I can put it outside in the sun. I mean,
not a big deal.
I'm a little bit less excited about it now.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It stinks of chemicals if you don't rinse it out.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Forever.
You took the brain out of my eyes and the bushy out of my tail.
do you want it slightly back?
Huh?
I went through my to-do list on Discord and dramatically shrank it down, like massively, like over half is just gone.
Nice.
A good portion of it was like things that I had done, and I was like, oh, I never checked it off. Things that weren't going to get done anytime soon, I put over into the ideas to revisit. But for the I left a couple things up that honestly probably don't need to be left up, but they're just there as resources. So yeah.
Hi Xena. My recommendation would be to contact
Slayer. No, the Prime membership on Twitch doesn't stay. You have to manually do it every single time.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the downside of it. Like, you can pay for a year membership if you wanted to. But for the Prime membership, the free one, they make you click it every single month. They make you use it on the streamer that you're wanting to use it every single month.
To us, yes, that's stupid. To the people who try to make them a profit, it's sneaky and kind of underhanded, and is a great way to make money every month for nothing.
Well, I mean, they're effectively, you're already paying for Prime. And so it's an additional service that you get for free that allows you to pay your favorite streamer without it costing you anything else.
Yep.
So for them, it's a benefit because they don't have to turn around and pay out a creator.
My dog with diarrhea is whining. I'll be right back. I want to make sure she gets outside.
Okay.
Sorry about TMI, everybody.
You're all good.
Daisy, where are you?
Good evening, villain support, Pony Bro says. Just did Prime for y'all. And it is awesome, like being over on Twitch. Eventually there'll be more integrations that I want to do, more emotes and stuff like that. We have gained another source of revenue at like the perfect time when revenue might be going down in other areas. There's a hype train going on over there right now, which is awesome. So it may not sound like much, but currently estimated is over $100. And like every revenue that we get, that's like especially revenue that you guys don't have to worry about putting anything to. Good portion of that is subscriptions. Out of that, $20 in Prime subs. That's not bad. That's actually really decent. Yeah. Yeah, like if you have Amazon Prime, the only thing that you have to do is like once it's connected to your Twitch account, you have to manually go in there every single month, mind you, and hit the resubscribe if you're a Prime because you're using your Prime subscription. That part kind of sucks, but it's a way for you to support your favorite creator without having to do anything other than be in their stream and hit a button. I really like that. I do not use my own Prime sub for us because it's not really allowed. You're not really supposed to do that. You can, but they frown down upon it.
Well, is your Prime sub connected to the account we have? You can do it because your email isn't attached.
That is true. I could use my Prime subscription for villain support.
I mean, technically, our Prime subscription is through Aileen's email address, so we could do that too. Maybe we shouldn't be discussing how to defraud Twitch on Twitch.
We're not. To be clear, Twitch, don't yell at us. We're not doing that.
We're not defrauding. We're simply talking about why we're not going to do it. What we could do, but won't do.
Yeah.
Could do, but won't do.
Gosh darn it. The immediate ads when you first join.
What makes you think Levi's not already on the dark side?
Yeah, that's another thing. Is that how many people don't realize that Levi is true neutral? And so it's really nice to be able to post the drama videos. Just be like, hey, Levi does a lot of good stuff. You get to see a different side of the character, which is really, really nice. Other than the like yelling or Karen mode, or like as of late, somebody pointed out, as of late, that's what Levi and Chris have both effectively done.
Yeah.
And part of that, to be perfectly honest, is the views. More people will watch it.
John is as evil. John is as evil as he needs to be. Levi is as evil as he wants to be.
That's a good way to put it.
John is always evil. Levi can choose to be, which he does often.
I have a certain set of rules, and if somebody doesn't abide by those rules, that's on them, not me.
This cracks me up because during Prohibition, all these winemakers stopped making wine, and they began producing packaged like bricks of compressed grape powder with explicit instructions of do not, and then instructions on how to make wine. Under any circumstances, do this because it makes this product illegal. Basically giving you a thing on that brick of exactly how to make wine, but it protected them because it said, don't do this. So amazingly, there became a huge demand for compressed bricks of grape powder in the United States during Prohibition. And people would invite their friends over and make wine using the grape powder. And then the evidence was gone by the time the cops showed up.
Don is Ferengi, Levi is Romulan. Okay, so
yeah,
Napa is Napa. You said you're going to use Papa Popo to get some voice work for Cell.
I want Popo to be Cell because Cell from DBZ, like actual Cell, would not have the kind of goofy conversations we're having. He wouldn't be the one being like, well, he's got hand blades and da-da-da-da. He wouldn't do that. He would just be like,
well, it depends on the Cell, of course.
Right. But I mean, Cell from the cartoon, not DBZ abridged, would kill Wolverine. And then be like, I just disintegrated something. What was it?
The worst part about it is like they were discussing the other day. It depends on what version of Wolverine you decide.
Correct. If it's the regenerate from a single drop of blood Wolverine, then no, you didn't. You remember how inconvenient it was for Goku and friends to fight you because you could regenerate from a single cell? Yeah. Here comes karma.
oh, dude, that's a really good line.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, write out the line real quick so you don't forget it.
I'm gonna.
Hey, everyone here, how would you like to meet at least me? This is a question. At Salt Lake ComicCon.
I can't be there. It'll just be Levi, which is still really cool, but not both of us.
It's one of those things where it will depend on if I can get a in for a panel or something. Because otherwise, that is September, I believe. Like, I still have time to like figure out because David Tennant's going to be there September 25th through the 27th. So we have some time that if we decided to do this, I could be like, hey, I'm going to apply for a panel, get the panel. Then I'll be like, okay, now I need additional funds. And let's try to earn the additional fund because it's expensive for me to go. It's just as expensive. It's not just as expensive as it is for me as it is for Chris. It's a different type of expense. For Chris,
it's a plane flight and hotel rooms expensive.
For me, it is at minimum a hotel because we just the driving back and forth. No, parking alone. Might as well have a hotel.
Yeah, because it's like $25-$30 a day.
Yeah. I might as well just get a hotel at that point.
Well, that would be if you're only going for one day.
True. If I'm only going for one day, it's much.
If you're
different.
going for the 3 days of it, $60 total parking is way less than one night. One hotel is less than one night at a hotel.
Depends on where you're going. I can get a motel for $30 a night.
Close to the event.
With the I think you underestimate the public transport in Salt Lake City.
I must, apparently.
It is up there with California and Japan.
We
have one of look it up. Utah has one of the best public transportation systems in the U.S.
Utah or Salt Lake specifically?
We're Salt Lake is really good, but transportation.
Okay. So, for those of you who saw the On This Day video that I posted on TikTok today, it was Cell versus Wolverine. And I was watching that, and I was kind of disappointed with it because I was like, this lasted way longer than it needed to. And it lost steam about halfway in, right when you found out who he was fighting. So I want to shorten it for attention spans and do it better. I don't. Who's Milo Murphy? Thank you for the $2, Shadow Protector.
Utah ranks second nationally, following Nevada. Salt Lake City, in particular, is ranked highly for its public transportation, coming in among 10 among cities in the U.S. for best public transportation.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really and you don't need to do that. Like, that's a thing that already exists in the crossover that they did, Jedi. Like, if you go watch the crossover movies, that's a thing that already happened. There's no reason for me to do that.
That comment was made so many times on the On This Day video on TikTok today. Chuck him into space. Just chuck him into space. Chuck him into space.
Yeah, it's one of the main things.
Is there a Devil Artemis thing where Cell just chucks people into space?
I think Devil Artemis has done that quite a lot.
Yeah.
What was the consensus? I didn't see the consensus of like
on what
the ComicCon thing.
Oh, there were.
You want me to go? Maybe can't. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. Is I think you have to do it, Chris, because I think you have to apply.
No, you can apply.
How do we?
It's no different than if one of the members of Warp Zone wants to go to a thing, but not all of them can go, he can still use Warp Zone as his example.
Cosplay, special guest info.
And it's only if you want to do a panel. You can also just reach out and say, hey, I'm one half of the creative team behind Villain Support. I live in the area. I would love to help promote your con and meet people there while I'm walking around, and they might just give you a pass.
Maybe.
That's what the ComicCon here did for me. They're just like, here's 6 passes. And I was like, oh, okay.
I don't even know where I would go to ask about that.
Let's look real quick. That's not what I want to do.
Special guest info. Exhibitor.
No, you're not important enough to be a special guest yet. We're still a couple years away from that. FanX Salt Lake.
Phineas and Ferb, something. Phineas and Ferb could barely handle Milo's luck. Hines would get Rick so hard. One of the things I want to do, and I want to iron this out, is in Levi's to do. There's get some VA for when Batman calls in. We find out it's Wolverine very quickly, and it's actually Wolverine, not the other one. And It doesn't need to be a very long call. We just need to find out it's Wolverine very quickly with some witty one-liner from Batman, and then Levi goes, "Oh, Bats, you don't prep time. You just need to stop holding back."
They already closed applications for you don't need a press pass. About
the panel's still opening. That's still open.
Where?
Oh,
panel application?
Yeah. You click that and it says it's still open.
Oh, panel programming?
Steven, Levi is having delusions of adequacy.
Yeah, so there's your participate. You can submit a panel, a workshop, a meetup, or a performance. So you can just apply for a meetup. What's up, Kayla? What? No, I'm live. What are you doing? Why are you drinking Dr. Pepper at 9 p.m. at night?
Ava's mom gave it to me.
That's no excuse for you opening it.
I was still at her house when I opened it.
This isn't a house rules thing. This is a whatever. You can say, oh yeah, sure.
Hello.
Goodbye.
That's the 15-year-old. The one you normally see is the 17-year-old. Enjoy Dr. Pepper. If you can't sleep tonight, it's not my fault.
Perfectly fine.
Okay, great.
Hey, I don't have any tests.
There's a lot of people who are finally get to see the Red Hood video
Yeah,
that are responding really positively to it.
I noticed. Yeah. So yeah, if you go to panelists and event application in programming info, you can just set this up as a meetup. You don't even need to do it as a panel. It's just a film support meetup.
So just go to panelist application.
So go to event guests. Wait, yeah, hold on. Experience, and then panel programming.
Panel programming.
They were I have soundproof.
Participate.
Kaylin, go look in Kate's room under her pull-up bar. Okay, well they're on the wall now.
Yeah, participate brings you to programming info.
Yep. And then don't do participate, and then click on panelists and event application.
Okay.
And then just fill that out. Put your email address in there, city residence, and you're just gonna tell them what you do. Tell them what day or days you're available, and then tell them where you've been a panelist previously, which is there. And you just tell them you were a panelist at FanX 2 years ago. And the title of it just be a villain support meetup. Levi. Now, the lady that used to run their panel things, Croy, is no longer there. So I don't know who you'll get. I don't know who you'll get an email from. You know, now I'm thinking about it. I want to see what Croy is up to. I connected with them on LinkedIn. And I know they were trying to get.
I don't even know how to type this out. Like who it made? I don't know what to type. Figure it out.
Oh, whoa. That's awesome. Croy's job now is the convention programming manager for the Pokemon Company International.
Damn. So I don't know how I'd want to word this. Please tell us about yourself. My brain doesn't want to do that right now.
I can tell you right.
Oh. Chris, this is Chris' specialty. Is going to need it.
So your first name is Levi. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Your last name is, I'm not going to say it because I know you don't often share it. Your email address, I would use either your, you can do that. Yep. As long as you're checking it. Yeah. City residence is that. And I say, please tell us about yourself is,
that's where I'm getting stumped. Like
Yep.
I can do the rest of it, but like that part, I don't know how I should write that out. Levi jeans. Yeah, I've been made fun of that. What I think we should do for everyone here, if I do the Batman versus Wolverine,
yeah,
I'm gonna do my Batman, who can do the Kamehameha and the Kaioken. I think that's the perfect way to have that be in there.
Versus classic Wolverine who just heals quick.
Yeah.
Give Batman a real edge.
Like it's known that when Batman doesn't have to hold back against somebody who can heal, he can get really brutal and very sadistic. Batman with abilities being told, "Hey, you can let loose."
Right.
Probably needs to have the line, "Oh, snap goes Wolverine," and then be like, "Oh, wait." And then like turn over to John and be like, "John, I think I may have made a problem." And be like, "What do you mean?" Wolverine doesn't know the Kamehameha. That's not something I ever gave Wolverine. That it is, and this is just gonna sound really. It's funnier to give Batman the abilities and Batman not use them than it is to give Wolverine the abilities, who already has a ridiculous ability. Batman is a guy in a gimp suit beating people up. Wolverine is the healing factor. It's much more funny to give Batman those abilities than it is, oh, here's another powerful Wolverine.
Right. So Levi, I'm posting stuff to you in general on Discord.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Sorry, we're not ignoring you guys, everybody. I'm typing up stuff for Levi because I'm a typey person.
So I'm going to say that I'm available all 3 days. I really hope they don't schedule me all 3 days.
No, you'll just get one panel. The thing is this. If you say I'm available all 3 days and they originally give you a panel on Friday at 8 p.m., for example, they can change that panel time anytime they want, which happened to me twice at Atlanta ComicCon, which is why I will never run a panel there again. I was originally going to be at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Then they bumped me to 8 p.m. Saturday, not telling me that the vendor floor closed at 7 p.m. Saturday. So everybody left the con. I had like 10, 15 people in there, max. And there had been at least 100 people who'd said that they're going to be there. But then the time changed. They didn't communicate it well. I also didn't communicate it well because there's no way to make sure people see a video within 3 hours of the time changing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a giant mess.
What was the title that we used for last year's panel?
What?
What was the title for the panel?
Villain Support Live.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna submit this, and we'll cross our fingers. And
Whoa, hold on.
Ah.
Did you send it already?
Yeah.
Okay.
What were you gonna do?
I was gonna give you the list of places that I've done panels at in addition, so you could increase it beyond Fanex, but that'll be good enough.
Well, the reality is, like, the one other conventions I've personally done a panel on, it is no longer in existence, so there's no point in putting it there.
Right.
Now, if we do get approved, I'm sure Chris will help me make out a thing to do, because Chris is better for that.
No.
No, hey.
I'm just kidding.
Otherwise, it'll just be this.
Yeah.
But with people,
Levi is in Utah and I'm in South Carolina.
by the way, you pointed the opposite direction.
Well, on my screen, it's the correct direction. So if I pointed the wrong way to you guys, sorry. I'm pointing the right way for me. Doing great, Stephen Paxton. How are you?
So if we get approved, if I get approved, I'll do a bunch of announcements. I will promote the crap out of this so we can get people to come over, as well as
what we're going to do, everybody, and I'm going to keep promoting this, is we've got a mailing list now. And I need to get that. I need to get a quick link set up so you can join it, because starting probably middle of this month, early next, there's going to be a weekly email going out to everyone who's subscribed with links to all the videos that dropped that week, information about what's going on, just little life updates and channel updates every week, so everyone can keep up, for 3 reasons. Number one, it lets people see what videos got dropped, especially when it's like the On This Day videos on TikTok.
do you have it set to automatically do that, or is that something that you have to manually go in every time and do?
It'll have to be a manual thing, but it's not gonna be that. It'll be 2 hours on a Sunday evening that I just do it. But that'll Stephen Paxton, you're 100% correct on that. Fireball is the only answer. But yeah, so we'll do that, and people can sign up for that. I'll start dropping that link in videos pretty often. But that way people can keep in touch more. They can stay engaged more. If we, for example, if Facebook runs a promotion and says, "Hey, we're paying double on views this month," we can promote that and be like, "Go watch on Facebook. It costs you nothing, and we get more." That kind of thing. And it's a chance for that. It's a chance to let you know what's going on. It's a way for us to let you know, like the stuff from Unique Dice. What companies we're doing collabs with, what companies we have affiliate codes with, who our sponsors are. Yeah, this thing's very cool. But
I am very disappointed that I didn't notice that there wasn't a D4 though.
I'm surprised that this isn't a D4.
Yeah,
they didn't turn the spinning bit into a die, because honestly, there's 6 pew-pews in here. Why wouldn't this be the D6 and you make the D6 pew-pew into a D4?
Yeah. I feel like it's whatever.
Whatever. But yeah, so it's a chance for us to let you guys know everything that's going on, so that you don't have to just happen across it in a video and go, "Oh, I didn't know that." You know it. So I will be right back. I am being summoned to come get a piece of sourdough that my neighbor baked, and I love sourdough. So I'm going to get a piece of sourdough that my neighbor baked, and I'll be right back.
Changeling, I submitted a panel request for Salt Lake Comic-Con. If I get approved, I'll go. If I don't get approved, I probably won't go unless my spouse wants to go one day. And at that point, I ain't telling y'all, because that's a day for family. If you guys see me, you see me, but otherwise you won't. But if I get approved for a panel, I'll 100% blast that multiple times and make sure everyone knows. And we will see what we can't do to get a large crowd and get people in there. And come up with something fun for everyone to do. Make a call. Last time it was really cool. We just went through a live version of one of the calls, took questions, and then I did the disclaimers because everyone wanted to do the disclaimers, and we wished everyone a have an Acme day, and when I then did photos and autographs and giveaways. Now I will say this. I'll have to wait until Chris gets back here before I find out if this is a thing. Because last time we gave away merchandise while we were there. I don't think we could afford to do the merchandise next time. It'd be one of those things where I'd have to find out from Chris if he thinks that that's something that we can do. Because one, I'd have to order more. I'd have to order more merchandise. And two, while I don't have a problem setting up the physical stuff, it does cost a substantial amount of money to just give it away. Jimmy, if I would love that to be a thing, but honestly, when I wind up with a panel, I'm not going out around looking for voice actors. I'm not talking to them. That's not. A lot of people think that it's like you're going to bump into them. Nope, that's not what you do. It's very like, hey, here's your panel. You go in there, you enter the same way as everyone else does, unless you're like a paid guest and there's like a back entrance that you go to. You don't interact with regular people. And I'm considered regular people. They might find you. If one of them shows up at the panel, by all means, I'll probably have some fun there. On average, Jimmy, it is not good etiquette to show up to somebody's panel and crash it without like them knowing each other. Like if Papa Popo were to show up to Salt Lake ComicCon, he could crash my panel willingly. I would welcome that and make him an immediate sit down, get his butt over there, and we would have fun. If a random voice actor, let's use Yakko, the voice actor that does Yakko, because he's going to be there. Wacko, Yakko, and Dot, they're all going to be there. One of them shows up. I guarantee you they will not crash my panel. As a form of etiquette, even if they show up to watch it, they will not let it be known unless their name is called, and then they'll be like, hi. And that's usually like at the end of the panel, they might do that. As a form of etiquette, you just don't crash somebody else's panel. So you see that online all the time. It's all scripted. Almost every single panel crash is scripted. It's professionalism. Yeah, it's what it boils down to. But if it's somebody that we've worked with, and then I'm like, yeah, you can, like, if you show up, just let me know. Come over there. I don't really care. You're that's how they roll with that. Merch is just a baggie of Dracula's ashes. Will be the reason why Dracula. Motorcycle, I can't even justify doing merch that hasn't been selling because all the merch sells. It just takes a while. And I don't have enough to give away at this point to justify unless Chris was like, okay, I'll buy the rest of that. Because we did a lot up front, and then Chris paid for what was going to be given away at the panel. And it was given away. Like everyone grabbed a ton of stuff except for like a few stickers were left. So, and that is not something that we don't have a bunch of this stuff left anymore. I don't even have these. These aren't even ours. Motorcycle. Yes, that is something that Levi did. Levi's not poor. Levi, there's a reason why Levi did a hostile takeover very easily. We can do pre-sales. We can do that. It's just, like I said, when Chris gets back, we'll talk about it. If we get the panel, what type of merch ideas. And like a lot of people liked it. A lot of people grabbed the stuff. But we wouldn't do nearly as much as we did last time if it's a giveaway. It would literally be like a 5 or 6 item type of thing. And it would be specific things like I would order shirts from our actual merch shop to do this. Or we would have like giveaway codes on cards that I could give away and people could order merch and have it shipped to their house. I'd prefer to have the physical item. That way they can grab it and have it. But also we could have the item and somebody could buy it if they wanted to. And I could autograph it for them if they wanted it autographed right then and there. And like Cosmic Kitties, that part of the business is set up to do physical sales. And I can do physical sales. It's just not something I want to be doing at a panel at the end of it. If there's another panel that needs to be done, you know. That looks like steak. It's bread, I know, but it looked like a hunk of steak. You're muted.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So we were talking about like last time we did a merch giveaway. We gave away a bunch of stuff. People just came in and grabbed what they wanted and everything. And I told people, I was like, we can do that, but it's expensive. It's something that I have to know well enough in advance. If the panel goes through, what we're going to do, that kind of stuff. And so I told them I would have to talk to you. I would feel personally more comfortable with like 5 items that we give away at most. One of them being a shirt, you know?
I did not white work.
One of them being a shirt.
Hey, Joshua, how's it going?
Josh, do you want to join us?
If you want to hop into the stream, I can send you the link. If you don't, that's totally cool.
Yep.
No details on them, but I've recorded some lines for Joshua earlier for a collab he asked us to do with him, or asked me to do with him. I know he wants to do another one with you, Levi. He was trying to figure out a way to make it work with two reps. All good, man. It's great having you on here. He's filming something.
Right.
But Josh, he said that it didn't really work with 2 reps, so it'd be me this time. But I know he's thinking about us for future sketches still.
That's understandable. Like it can be hard to like integrate even 1 rep into a skit. Trying to do both of us, you need a full storyline for that.
There's times that you and I have failed to put both of us in a sketch.
Yeah, 100. for anyone wondering, like, one of the reasons like that we like our longer stories because it gives us the option to work together side by side like that. In a sense. Whereas the individual skits, you could button it 90% of the time that we have Nappa or John in it. It honestly didn't need to have it Nappa or John in it. It's because we wanted them in it.
I will say this. John, Nappa, and Levi have appeared as minor characters in different sketches for a number of reasons. But most of those reasons is because we've got a really good take that needs to get cut to the next take, and there's not a good smooth transition. So it's easier to have somebody reacting to it off screen than it is to just have and then is to have John do this. What do you mean there's a guy with claws on his hands? And then all of a sudden it cuts to me doing this and being like, just kill him, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
That's a good portion of the skits that have us in there shoehorned. It is strictly because one of us screwed up and it was like, I don't have time to record, or like this can't be recorded the same way it was.
Or the first half of that take was so damn good.
A good example was the skit I did with calling Palpatine Quarantine. Levi, did Barris ever get payback for the spray bottle? Not yet. I don't even know how well that video, Motorcycle, if you find that video, if you're on Discord, let me know. I don't remember which video that is. Tell me the title of that video. That's harsh to say, but like we have done thousands of videos. To anyone here that's like, you don't remember your own video, you got to remember how many that we put out. I know the video you're talking about. I don't
Death
remember.
Star Denial Claim Episode 3, Attack of the Karen.
Huh? No, not that one. It's the one with Beerus in the squirt bottle. But yeah, the one with Quarantine, Palpatine being called Karen. I went back to look at it and I did some spit takes and I was like, I can't redo this. That was such a good take from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
But people are going to get distracted. So me and Chris discussed how we wanted to do it. And then Chris forgot half of the stuff he suggested because we didn't write it down and he was tired. So when he went to go record it, was like, I don't remember what I was supposed to do here. And I was like, I don't remember either. All I remember is a couple things. So we did those couple things. He sent me the stuff back. And then I got the editing done. And then I sent it to him for captions because I just could not do captions that day. Yeah. My stream got interrupted due to internet. Now, what are we talking about tonight? A lot of different things.
About random stuff, me eating bread with jam, and a video I'm going to record here in a little bit.
Rusty, this is another good example of like how me and Chris help each other make something better that we wouldn't have thought of otherwise. Like I thought of having the Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing in there. Chris thought of the activating peanut gallery. And then like the only reason the Mystery Science Theater 3000 didn't stay present throughout the whole thing in the same fashion it was because I wanted everyone to see Chris's face and how funny it was for him to go, what? To how fast I was speaking.
I got to do more of those reactions for Joshua earlier. It's fun.
Have you guys ever done a blooper video? I've done a couple of them. To be honest, most of the bloopers wind up on my channel because I keep my bloopers quite often, and then I'll put them at the end of the video. Trying to currently, and this is currently, there's going to be a point where bloopers will probably be more present on the main channel. Currently, keeping bloopers is hard. Just from a hardware standpoint, trying to keep every blooper is both time consuming and cost money because we would have to dedicate a space to keep just things that have gone wrong that we could then compile at a later point. So you have money, hardware, whether it be an offline thing that Chris sends me the bloopers or whatever it is, or a located server. So you got that. And then you have the time and remembering to keep that thing. Yeah, the lives are a really good place to find the bloopers, to be honest.
Yep.
There's going to be more Harry Dresden, especially because of that prop right there. Chris actually likes the way it is now. Despite the fact it's existed for a while, he just didn't like it being that optical illusion thing. I will admit that I do miss having that but I do understand why. Where did Levi go on vacation? You're not going to get told that. Mr. Bubbles found Levi. That is going to be a thing that we discuss. I would have loved to have Mr. Bubbles' voice / cosplay in the skit, but the more I think about it, the more that scene is not necessary. Because you have Levi coming back after vacation, and short of doing a scene of Levi on vacation driving it away from the current scene of and then you do a bubble thing, and then you see Mr. Bubbles talk to Levi, and then you go in, and then you just have Chris talking because that was the scene. It already explained it.
I just went total tangent mode because of this comment. And I thought about Dresden, and I thought about Voldemort, and then I thought, wait a minute. Do we have an address for McAnally's Pub in Chicago? If so, cool. If not, still cool. But, so McAnally's Pub in Dresden is a place that is neutral territory. You can't use magic there. The way it's built and designed is to stop magic from working inside of it. And if you do use magic there or cause problems there, the owner, Mac, will end you. Doesn't matter who or what you are. He is some sort of, it's hinted at that he's some sort of ancient eldritch being. He's basically like the Dresden universe's version of Miss Frizzle. And I thought it might be fun just now to have Voldemort having come back trying to take out Dresden, thinking he has a different, better weapon. and he doesn't. And John frantically giving him directions to McAnally's pub with clear rules. Once you get inside, do not use magic. You have to act like a muggle. You may not do anything, not even pointing at a glass to bring it to your hand. Do everything manually.
So
Bay Panda, that wouldn't be an issue. Current events aren't a problem as long as they're not political, religious, or involving real people.
I've done a series. Used to do a series called Consequences of. It would fit that series really well. The dire wolves thing. And to be fair, the Consequences of series was really good. The only problem I had with it, to be honest, was that like the ideas that I was getting were from the same creators, and I didn't want it to be a constant like Consequences of, and it's just the same people over and over again.
Oh, Logan, there was a part 2 with John frantically trying to get Miss Frizzle not to end villain support. But I don't think it did very well, and it might only be on TikTok.
There's also the drama that happened that made us drop that entirely, unfortunately.
There was another creator that we worked with who played the role of Miss Frizzle. And they got a negative comment on their video and went scorched earth on the commenter. And we got pulled into that because we were affiliated with them because of the video. And I have gone radio silence with that creator since, because they have shown themselves to be.
And to be fair, every creator
drama
has made a mistake with how to deal with drama.
100%. But when that mistake draws in other people that weren't involved in it and get them in trouble, that's a problem, especially when they don't apologize for it. Instead, they wanted us to get involved and join their side. And
they tripled like, down. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we both were like, no. The comment was on your video. You responded. We are not involved.
Motorcycle, you should be able to post in the general chat. Just put in the general chat the title of the video that you're talking about, and I will go and I'll look for the video. Logan, I'm going to answer this. Go ahead, and what do you want to answer?
No. Go ahead.
Right. So, there are some people who called the skit I did with Jason a therapy skit, and I was like, that's not what that was, and I even made it clear in the skit that that's not what I was doing. But doing drama skits, the reason why I don't take requests is specifically because those are much harder to do. It's easier to make somebody laugh. It is. It's just easier to make somebody laugh than it is for me to go and put myself in a mental position to talk about that. And I could do that same skit almost word for word. Yes, with Cosmic Ghost Rider or Palpatine, any of the evil people, but there's no point for me to do the same thing over and over. It needs to be catered towards that particular thing. And we did discuss it, that there is a possibility to do more skits like this, but I'm currently seeing how it is.
Motorcycle, you have to go to the rules tab and you need to accept all the rules and everything before it'll give you access to the rest of the Discord.
What Discord are you on? It says lore chat. I see lore staff chat, but you're not staff. You shouldn't be able to like.
No.
What Discord are you on that you see lore chat? We had an old Discord that we're not part of anymore.
That Discord should be shut down, though.
And at least it's supposed to be, but I don't know if it ever did. Yeah, he's in the right. They're in the right one. But you should see general, hero, villain, voice acting, accommodations, universe, pics, GIF, memes.
Yeah, there is no lore chat in there.
Yeah.
And there's not one. Yeah, just On the off chance that you didn't give them access to the one you and I use.
Nope. You just see lore staff chat. So yeah, you have to. I don't know how you can see the lower staff chat. I don't know why that's I don't even know why that's a thing, to be honest.
So you don't see rules?
You should be able to see the rules. Rules and roles. You have to select a role and you have to agree to the rules. And then from there it should open up the whole thing.
So the last post in rules is you got to click on like the green check mark.
Yeah, you have to click agree.
And then you have to click agree, which is the.
And then you go to roles and you give yourself a role.
Yep.
You know, make sure.
But without being able to see your screen, can't totally help you out, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I wish I could tell you more, but that's one of those things where, especially like as we get larger, this is not something that we're going to be able to constantly be able to help with. You're going to have to like submit, like there's going to be tickets and stuff like that you'll have to go through and do, because like we just don't know. We are on the Discord channel, but not nearly as like I'm more on it
actively. I mean, I would love to be more active in that Discord on the Discord. I don't have the time. I'm active when somebody tags me. I'll go check it.
I every time I go look at it, and this is why I mentioned about possibly like changing some of the rules up on it. Every time I go look at it, it is so much. Hey, look at motorcyclists. I can see it now. Most of the time I go look at it, it's just like filled with a bunch of chat, whether it be role play or something else. It's so chaotic that it's just over my head. And I'm just like, I don't know. So periodically I'll go look at hero suggestions. Periodically I'll go look at villain. I'll just scroll through. I'll answer something. Like a bunch of people were requesting in the hero suggestion Ben 10, like constantly. It was like a huge chat talk. And I was like, I need to actually address this. Beerus has been a bad kitty. Oh. So the short and the long is only a minute 3 seconds. The short is a minute, so it just cuts off 3 seconds. For whatever reason, the products is broken. I don't care about that. 24,000. That's not like the short's 24,000. Like. It's just going to sound bad. It is not a popular enough skit for me to reference.
Which one is that?
Beerus has been a bad kitty.
Yeah.
Like it was a fun video and it did okay. But it did not do well enough for me to like try to reference. Not as a whole video. Like I could do a one-liner joke type reference in a different video, and the people who get the joke get the joke. The people who don't get the joke will go look for the joke, and the people who don't care about the joke simply won't care about it. But doing a whole video reference for it, not so much, because it's gonna be one of those things where you're producing a video for a niche video for a niche crowd and a niche video on top of a niche crowd. It's so bad. It was funny. I like the joke, and like across the social medias, it probably garnered about probably the same amount. But if I can go to YouTube, where a good portion of our returning audience is, and it only has that many views,
yeah,
that's harsh. It made enough to justify itself. It didn't make enough to justify a part 2. I could totally do a cone of shame thing. That would be funny. I think as long as you don't select it, you won't see it. And the only way you see the non-safe for work stuff is if you go.
Sorry, I was trying to highlight that one also.
There.
Damn it. There.
I was trying to get out.
Yeah, the only way you're going to see it is if you go into the server that has it. If you see it outside of those servers, report it, and that person will get banned.
Yeah. We were having trouble with people putting that stuff where it, like, even though we had, like said, don't post this, that we gave them a spot to do that. And it's a popular spot for at least a couple people. And that's great because it gives them a spot to just post whatever they want without people yelling at them. But if it's anywhere outside of that, it's a problem. That's catnip plus cone of shame plus
Levi, what is this wonderful powder?
oh my god. Oh my god. There could be so many misunderstandings with that. Levi just goes, hold on, Beerus, 1 second. Hey, John! What? Beerus found a powder. What? I don't want to do this.
What do you want me to do about it? You're better at figuring these out than I am. Take the call.
More like, I don't want to deal with this, John. He sounds.
Beerus, does the powder look like snow? No. If you press your nose into it, does it stick to your nose? No. Okay.
No, it does actually.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, like it will stick to cat's nose because their nose will get wet and everything. So, there's so much.
That's a good point. Why doesn't Beerus chase energy blasts all over the place? Kamehameha! Yes! And he goes running after it.
So what if this is our end for this? Okay, first of all, let's highlight some of these. Hold on. Cone of Shame, that one. Where's the other one that you had pulled up? Catnip. And then the spray bottle one can be later. Okay. What if we start the video like this, where Beerus calls in? It doesn't matter if it's Beerus, doesn't matter if it's Weiss, doesn't matter who it is. Calls in, and we get Levi. We can go ahead and start it with Levi. And it literally be the we have to have it voice acted. And it's like, I have discovered a powder. And Levi goes, nope, I don't want to deal with this today, Beerus. just be like, nope, no.
Yep.
Just let me put you on hold. The powder is glorious. Okay, Beerus, hold. John, we got a problem. What? It's Beerus. I want you to take the call. You're perfectly capable of taking that call. I don't want to take the call. It's about a powder. Ask him if the powder is white. I don't want to ask him. You ask him. It needs to be that argument and be like, and you find it like, fine.
And Nappa goes, I'll ask him. Beerus, what color is the powder? Who is this? Nappa, Vegeta's nursemaid.
Yes. And then let Nappa kind of do it. Get partial part of the way through the questions, and all of a sudden they go. The line just goes dead. You hear the Kamehameha sound, and the line goes dead. And then it's like, Beerus, I think he hung up, guys. I was like, at least we don't have to deal with it.
Or it could be like, Beerus, give the phone to Weiss. Sure. And he's like giggling. Weiss goes, hello, in his Weiss voice. And Nappa goes, Weiss, what does Beerus have? And Weiss goes, well, it appears he's discovered a large pile of oregano. and Nappa goes, John, Beerus is getting into some oregano. And John goes, give me the phone right now. Weiss, that's called catnip. Are Goku and Vegeta there training? Yes. Do not let them fire off any. Ooh, Bright light. Energy blasts.
No. Hold on. Interrupt that. So it's like, give me the phone right now. And we just see Levi get a wicked grin. It's like so it cut. You say your thing, and we see you're saying your thing as we see. Yeah, let off a Kamehameha like right now, or an energy blast. It'd be say, let off an energy blast right now. Oh, trust me, just do it. And then it swaps back over, to you, and then it has that same thing that you said, and you just go. Levi, you just hear Levi.
Goku, just do a Destructo disc right now. Throw it. Don't let Beerus catch it.
No. Krillin, I want you to do a Destructor disc right now. But just whatever you do, just keep having it fly around. What? Just do it now. Okay. And then we hear your thing. And you go, God damn it! We hear you say, "Damn it!" And then we hear Levi giggling, and I was like, "You're fine. Just don't let him catch it, Krillin. Just let him catch." And you just see John get angry. John just like, really?
Yeah.
I think that back and forth would be really fun. Now you all need to film it. Okay. So when did we start making the that script effectively?
8-ish minutes ago.
7:32. So 8-ish minutes. So about the little before the 1 hour marker.
Yeah, something like that.
Because that's gonna have to be a scripted out call.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
We need a John, Nappa, and Levi to do one, huh? We'll just make that in the general. Versus. So I like that. We'll swing back and see if we can do some of the absurdity with it. Chris wanted to record something though.
I'm still writing the script because originally it was just going to be me improvising it, but now that I want Popo to do the voice for Cell, it has to be scripted.
Yeah.
So okay, so everyone's asking for a Dresden video. Who would be a fun person for Dresden to fight that you don't think we've done yet? Villain, not hero.
Do we want that? Here's a question. Do we want this to be part of the Constantine series?
It doesn't have to be.
Okay. What do you need to?
I ate the entire rest.
Okay, you need to go wash your
Darth Vader versus Dresden. I don't know who Zatanna is. I've heard the name.
Zatanna's not a villain. And the reality is that Zatanna and Dresden might actually hook up.
Let's do a magical villain.
Can you what?
I ate the entire thing that was on there that was left.
Okay, that's fine. Probably ate a bit much though. All right, go on.
Is the person gone now?
I don't know. Go. You can go look.
No.
No, it needs to be a popular villain.
Well, there are some C-listers that are very popular.
True. Just so popular though. This would be get the question of why he's there. But what if it was the Little Mermaid's evil? Damn it! What?
Ursula?
It's charging. Ursula. Yes, thank you.
How would he be underwater? How would he breathe? Why would he be there?
Exactly. So those are the questions you're going to be asking. Maleficent's also a good one, but I think Ursula is just the more ridiculous one as to why are you even there? So why is he there? Does he know the fairy tales of the classic fairy tales?
Oh, I'm sure he does, because the entire Dresden series is based on myth and fairy tale.
Okay,
like that's all his.
Would
his
Dresden
villains.
go there to save a princess? And find out that the princess didn't need saving. It was already done. He arrived late. Is that something you could see from Dresden? Remember, it doesn't even have to be like, it just has to be plausible, and that's all you need for the ridiculous to set up.
Right. It's.
And at that point, how'd you even hear about it?
The thing is, it's got to be somebody that would warrant Dresden using his magic against them versus just laughing at them. He does have a white knight complex, but I think Ursula is just too low on the totem pole for him to do anything to. Because her magic, she can't just like turn. She has to have a contract with you.
The Witch from the Wizard of Oz.
That might be it right there. What is her name again? What is the Wicked Witch of the East's name? Wicked Witch of the West?
I think you just said it. Mother Gothel.
She's not really magical, though.
I mean, he's searching for a lost kid.
Her name is Elphaba. Oh, no.
No one can remember the name. So if Chris drops the name, it's going to be one of those things where even John's character doesn't put 2 and 2 together. That would have to be the joke.
Even then, like, she's, man, magically though, she's not that powerful.
No.
I
bet, let's be honest, neither was the Harry Potter stuff, but powerful enough that it gave people the misconception that he was powerful.
What if he's up against Turbo Granny from Dan to Dan?
That's better. But the problem that we have with this, it would have to be before Turbo. No.
And actually, she wouldn't work. All she's gonna do is ask for his junk.
And he would be able to end it before the Dawn was a thing. So there's not really a loophole that you can utilize there to have them fight. Oh, that's a good one.
What?
Zareth from Fairy Tale.
I don't know if Fairy Tale and Dresden kind of scale around the same, and some of the stronger guys in Fairy Tale would wreck the Dresden verse.
Would Dresden do something because it was a challenge?
Ish.
So he would still need a reason to go there. So the biggest problem that we're seeing here is that he needs a reason. So with the Wicked Witch of the East, West, whatever you want to do, there's a reason. Lost kid. Saw a lost kid thing, followed the trail, wound up here. There's a lot of gold here, right? The Dawn to Dawn, there isn't a loophole that turn around doesn't change the whole story. And that's not something that we like to do very much. Utilizing what we've done, though, in the Constantine Versus series, We could make a callback to the Constantine versus series as to the reason why he meets whoever he meets.
Yeah. Give me a second here.
He's still looking for the clown. This person had information. So that's our reason as to why he's wherever he's at.
I was messing around earlier with something. Let me find this real quick. I decided to see if I can convert Broke Vampire into short story format.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the first episode earlier today. I forgot about that. Do you guys want me to read it to you?
Sure.
All right. So
did you run it through an AI by chance or?
Nope.
Oh, awesome.
No, I just built it out. All right. So, and this takes place in 2021. So the mention of Elon Musk is not political, just because he's involved in Dogecoin. Yeah. So John's phone rang. In and of itself, this was not abnormal. It rang all the time. The phone number on the caller ID, however, was abnormal. John hadn't seen this number in decades. He smiled, leaning back in his chair, and answered, "Hey, Gary, what's up?" There was a beat of silence. Then Gary's voice came through, low and uncertain.
"No.
I need a loan." John blinked and then frowned. "You're a 300-year-old vampire. What do you need a loan for?" Silence. John raised an eyebrow and gave Gary another moment to respond. Gary chose not to. You should have untold millions just socked away for a rainy day," John continued, baffled. "What happened to your money?" Gary mumbled something under his breath. John didn't believe the whispered confession he'd just heard. "What was that?" John asked, and put a finger to his headset's earpiece, pressing it against his ear in an attempt to hear better. Gary hesitated, then repeated it with a sigh, still barely audible. "Crypto." John sat up straighter, a combination of shock and rising anger in his voice. Did you just say crypto under your breath?" A long, exhausted sigh came from Gary's end of the line. This wouldn't be the first time he'd been the subject of John's anger. "Yeah." John shook his head slowly. Which coins are you in? I mean, it's Bitcoin and Ethereum, stuff like that, right? Your money's not gone. Gary said, his voice growing smaller. This was about where John would normally start raising his voice. Gary knew what John was and had no interest in the rage of an ancient extra-dimensional warlord who had once ruled his entire home universe with an iron fist. John narrowed his eyes and said in a measured slowness, "Which coin are you in?" Gary took a moment to gather himself and then, almost in a whisper, replied, "Dogecoin." John closed his eyes and sighed. Gary knew better than this. Just because Elon Musk tweets about SpaceX putting a Dogecoin on the moon doesn't mean the coin's price itself is gonna... As John began speaking, Gary was shocked that the voice on the other line hadn't started shouting at him yet. Gary's confidence rose, and he interrupted. "In my defense," said Gary quickly, "a lot of other people took it that way also. But yeah, that's why I need the loan." John leaned back in his seat, arms wide in disbelief. He was holding in his temper because Gary was a friend, but his patience was wearing thin. "Even if I were to approve you for a loan, you just told me you have nothing. What are you going to use for collateral?" That's what I got.
Give me a moment here.
Give me more time in 30 seconds. Upstairs.
Okay. So I'm gonna let everyone else give their feedback before I give my feedback. And I've got feedback based on a few different fronts. If anybody else wants to give feedback, everyone else give feedback.
Feedback.
That was to hear it.
Okay.
The one thing I will say is like, as far as like one thing that you should cut is Gary knew what he was and didn't want to mess with him, and then just let it be. You do, like, let that be discovered later on if you're going to do that, what John is, because otherwise you take out the mystery of what you are. And that could be something that is learned later on in the story rather than right off the bat.
Yeah.
Sage wasn't paying half attention working. Loved the short. It was good. So it is a word for word version describing what happened in the video, which I think is a good explanation of it. It reads as fan fiction.
It's first draft.
No. I'm not saying that that's bad. I want to make sure that's cleared. There's plenty of fan fiction out there that has gone out to be full-fledged novels and stuff.
Right.
So I'm not saying that's bad. It reads as fan fiction is what it reads. Do I think that there is a story that can be told in a better way? Absolutely. I think if you were to start this from Gary's point of view, rather than a word for word of what happened with the call,
right,
I think it would do better. And I think you have a lot more potential there for more comedic stuff.
Gary's perspective. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Because then you get to still have this exact thing happen. But you started off with a funnier uptake of like, I am a 300-year-old vampire. How can I be broke? I can't be broke. This is the shame. Right. I'm going to get laughed at.
Actually, having Gary think to himself, I'm a 300-year-old vampire. What the hell do I need a loan for? And John goes, you're a 300-year-old vampire. What the hell do you need a loan for?
Yeah. So I'm a 300-year-old. Instead of doing that, it's like I'm a 300-year-old vampire asking for a loan. He's going to laugh at me. He's going to ask me this question. Ask him the question. You know, you do the POV, and with the comic, we have the ability to actually like show Gary's journey of buying the crypto and losing the money and going, oh shit, I have to do something I don't want to do. And you have the option to, and I always wanted to do this with my character and Gary.
You're right. Because that gives us the opportunity to do a whole bit leading up to it, and that's the first crisis.
Yeah. Having the ability to turn around and like both Levi and John are very incredibly old at this point.
Yeah.
And both of them do this because they're bored, effectively. There is no other reason why they do this. Levi does this partially because he's trying to figure out a way out of his situation. But his situation is not a monetary issue. It's there's no other possible place that I could find a way to cure my immortality. This is where it happened. This is where it was created, and somehow still managed to avoid it. And there's going to be the question eventually where Levi was sent into the past. Why didn't he just stop himself? Well, he couldn't, because otherwise he wasn't sent into the past. Right. And I would love for that to be a question in a video later on, eventually, of like, why didn't you just stop yourself from taking it and be like, then I wouldn't have been able to be there to stop myself from taking it, would I?
Right.
I want all versions of me fixed, not just one. Doesn't matter what timeline or theory you're going with. But either way, Levi or John both making the comment of like, Gary, how can you be anything of an immortal and be broke? Like, what? There's always that moment of immortality where you're kind of broke, but you're really never broke. You're immortal. You have all the time in the world.
Gary, you treat your money the way you treat your blood. You don't drink all the blood you have all at once, right? You save some for later in case you can't find any. Sure.
Yeah, right. And the POV of Gary having this conversation of like, is so much funnier from an outside perspective. Now, from our video perspective, it's our POV.
Gary has vampire ADHD. John, I have impulse control. You're a 300-year-old vampire. That's not an excuse anymore.
But we have the ability to do the prequel effectively of Gary's realizing he's going to have to make that phone call. We see Gary take out everything that he has because he thinks this is his big, I'm going to be rich for forever. I no longer have to do any work to be rich moment. And, maybe even have somebody make the comment of like, you sure about that, Gary? This isn't going to be another, and then like a stock exchange that one of the stocks that went bad, that went horribly, horribly wrong. Pick one of those. You sure this isn't going to be another one of those moments?
Right.
And he's like, no, it's completely different. This is crypto. It's guaranteed. And it's just like, okay. And so it winds up establishing a habit that Gary has.
This isn't like you putting all your money in the market in 1929, is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, this isn't the same thing. I'm much older. I'm much wiser.
This isn't like when you put all your money in the market in 1929 and 1987 and 2008, is it?
Enron.
I think there was one in 1887 too. I think there was a crash in 1887 also, or 1885 or something like that.
Would he have known been around for blimps at that point?
Oh yeah.
All right. So this isn't like when you invested in blimps, is it? It's not like when you invested in the 1920s, is it?
This isn't like when you lived in Germany and you invested. Oh my God!
We could have a lot of fun with the prequel of this. And it just needs to be somebody. I would love it if it's Levi's character, if it's honestly Levi talking to Gary about like, Gary, I'm telling you, you shouldn't do this. And it would be even funnier if it was like Gary was like, but you did it, and it was like, yeah, and I'm already out of it. I'm not going to put more money into it, Gary.
Yeah.
I invested early and I got out. It's like, well, now's the time to go. And I was like,
actually, it could be Levi talking to him, being like, listen, I'm just telling you. I know you could get excited about new things, and then you did this and 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 lay out like every bad possible investment you can make for the last 300 years. You go through, and you're like, the reason I'm talking to you about this is because John will yell at you. You and I both know that. So let this crypto thing, just let it sit for a while. Make sure it gets established. Make sure it works out. Then jump into it.
I would love the idea that that's a conversation that Gary's having with Levi physically rather than over the phone.
Oh yeah.
Because then you have that establishment of like, and it all throughout the series, Levi's still pissed at Gary.
Yeah.
Which would make even more sense that Levi was like, I tried to fucking tell him. Yeah. And I would love it because at that point we get to change the story a little bit at some point and be like, I can't believe he didn't listen to my advice. And Levi goes, he didn't listen to mine either. And just have John go, when did you tell him advice? Before he bought the crypto? which is, you get this funny moment of just John being like, are you fucking telling me you could have prevented this? And I was like, I tried. He's a 300-year-old vampire. He does what he wants. I bet that the British faces would exceed in quelling. Oh, yeah. Where were you at Jonestown? Gary sinks all his money into precious moments. It doesn't have to be Levi's character either for everyone watching. It just has to be somebody that's old and understands Gary enough. And that could definitely be a Levi moment.
Gary, I know you're excited, but this is like when you sunk all your money into Beanie Babies about 20 years ago.
No, God, yeah, there we go. That's a good reference.
Now, that said, I know people who did really well trading Beanie Babies and got out of it before they lost any money.
I think that would be a moment. I think that could be a moment because you have an immortal talking to an immortal. And being like, just because I did something doesn't mean you should do something. And I got into it when it was like this. You got into it now. I'm not telling you that this is a good idea, but remember when I definitely think that there's that that moment. Would Gary, as a character that you created, reach out to another mortal that isn't John because he knows John's going to get angry at him?
Yeah.
Levi's going to get angry, but not nearly as much. And I feel like Gary would probably be like, I could probably take Levi if he got angry. Because he's only 300 years old. Levi's reaction to Gary would very much be like this, like toddler, like they were saying. Gary's got the self control of a toddler. It's a 300-year-old vampire with the self-control of a toddler. I could definitely see that. He's a much older. So a conversation between them. It doesn't even need to be this thing. It could literally be something that Gary's already done. Yes, there we go. So Gary's already effectively done it. And he's just looking for Levi's approval so he could tell John.
The conversation is, what if I did this? And Levi goes through all the things that would be a bad idea, like the things he did. And he's like, so that's why I don't think you should do it.
And it has to happen on poker night.
Yeah.
Even better, it's on poker night. And it's like so like Levi's sitting there with a winning hand, with a full royal flush type of thing. And I was like, Gary, are you sure?
So Gary phrases the question this way. Hey, Levi, what would you say if I got into crypto? And Levi treats it as a hypothetical. You go through the whole thing, all the bad choices Gary's made, why he shouldn't do it, and then he goes, right, but what if I put all my money into crypto? And you already did it? Yeah. Why are you talking to me about this? And they both look at John, and Gary goes, because he yells a lot.
Well,
you
no,
yell
like,
less.
Would John be at the poker night? No. Gary was one of the backers of Famous. So let it be like Gary's at poker night. Because he's like, why not? Right? It's blowing money. With a bunch of other immortal poker night. For whatever reason, John's not there. That's Gary's opportunity to say that. And Levi goes, why don't you just talk to John about this? You're more John's friend than you are mine. And it was like, and then he goes, because John yells at me.
And Levi goes, John yells at everybody. And then he goes, right. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt any less.
I still don't know why you're talking to me about crypto. I was like, well, didn't you get into it? And I was like, yeah, and I got out of it. Love the angry John.
Yeah, accurate.
So I think that's the end. Is like Gary's playing poker, throwing money away, because it's an immortal poker night. I think that's hilarious. A bunch of immortals get together to effectively throw their millions away because they don't care. We don't even have to have Levi have a winning hand. It can literally just be. And I was like, why are you telling me like this? Blah blah blah. Still do that thing. Lead up to the. And I was like, it would be even funnier. I was like, you kind of sound like John now. I'm not trying to yell at you, Gary. I'm just.
The conversation begins because Gary busts. And Levi's like, you gonna buy back in? And Gary goes, no, I'm just gonna hang out and watch. And everyone's like, why? And Gary's like, wow. I might not have any more money right now.
It's like, how can you be an immortal and not have millions squirreled away somewhere? Just bet one of your castles or something. Ah!
Remember 2 weeks ago when we were all talking about how smart Elon Musk was?
I remember how you were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've all, as people who've lived long enough, seen people like Musk rise and fall. But elaborate. I feel like this is more important than the poker game right now.
Well, we all agreed that he's the wealthiest human since since Rockefeller or since whatever. And so I figured I could trust what he was talking about.
You trusted a human?
You trusted a fleeting existence for financial advice? Maybe I got caught up in the excitement.
And yeah, and it was like, okay, Gary, this isn't gonna be like, and then this moment, it's like, no. I was like, or like, no,
and then
like,
Cthulhu pipes up and goes, "It's hardly the first time."
Yes, there we go.
And everyone calls him Lou. Gary goes, "Shut up, Lou."
I love this idea. I love this so much. We're gonna you're gonna have to swing back to this and take some of the stuff and write it out. I love this. And then
this is way more enjoyable than what I was gonna record.
I'm sorry. And then we get to the point where Gary just confesses that he's already done it.
Yeah.
And it has to be like an interruption of like all the immortals going over Gary's failures. It has to be an interruption of that. I was like, well, what if I did buy it? What then? And just have one of them go, it doesn't matter who it says. It's like, this isn't a hypothetical, is it?
Right.
And then Levi can go, you're going to have to call John is what you're going to have to do. I don't want to call John. Why do you think I came here tonight?
I haven't been here in 6 months. Why do you think I showed up tonight? How'd you get the money to play? Sold my blood supply.
And just Levi just kind of goes, so I'm not going to say I'm suggesting this. And if you tell John that I told you to do this, you'll regret it. Because I still have some of your earth stashed away.
Some of his earth?
So there's a myth that if you have a vampire's earth, his homeland, his coffin, basically where he rested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do some nasty things to the vampire. You can effectively trap them. I don't even have to lay that. I was like, it can literally just be like, I can find a way. Go ask John for a loan.
Yeah.
Just we work it out. And I was like, just go ask John for a loan. But he's gonna yell at me. And I was like, do you think the 5 of us aren't going to do something to you right now if you don't get out of our face, you poor broke bitch? I was like, you are an immortal. How can you be broke?
One of the other people at the table is like, I hate to be that guy, Gary, but there was a minimum net worth to sit at this table, and currently you don't qualify. If we had known this to begin with, we wouldn't even have invited you tonight. Yeah. If John isn't yelling at you, then you aren't really John's friend.
That can even be something that gets said too.
Yeah.
And Gary's like, okay, but didn't it work? And like, I has to have the moment of, didn't it work out for one of you?
Yeah.
And it's like,
I've never made the same exact mistake twice.
Yeah, I love that. You know, like you're immortal. How can you be broke so many times? But having Gary drop it was like, it was like, it didn't work out for one of you. It's not yelling, it's loud motivation. And then having it be said, and I was like, there's a difference between getting on the bottom floor and getting on when it's already too late. Gary, you can't be making this mistake as often as you have and then claim any type of fame.
Yeah.
Just go ask for help. It'd be funnier as and it's like, John's gonna yell at me. What do you think I'm here? And I was like, we're not gonna give you a loan. We know your problems. It doesn't need to be resolved quickly, but at the same time, it does need to be short enough.
Yeah.
So Gary's POV would be like, it has to start off with Gary getting a meal the hard way instead of the easy way.
Because
then Gary
the
going like,
is just
like
is grabbing a blood bag or ordering from Blood Bud like he used to do, but now it's hunting someone down.
And having that being like, oh God, when was the last time I've had to do this?
Yeah.
and I was like, I just need this. Then I've got the poker game tonight,
right?
And then once I just got to win a couple hands at poker, and then I'm all good. And then we had the poker game where he's getting called out, Levi being there, and we roll into the lane into it, and Levi finally saying, just call John, because we're not going to go and do anything. So just call John.
Yeah. And
then having that moment, I was like, you had a minimum net worth. I love that. And you don't have it, so go away. And Levi can still say that line of like, look, if John's not yelling at you, he's not really that friendly with you.
Yeah. If John's not yelling at you, he doesn't care.
And then we get that call because he got kicked out of the poker night, but he doesn't tell John that he got kicked out of poker night.
Yeah.
So he's just made bad decision after bad decision. We don't even have to have the scrap the whole idea of saying you guys did it.
Hey Gary, what's up? I thought you'd be playing poker tonight. Oh, I was. I just wanted to give you a shout.
No, the call can still start off the exact same way that it did.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. Because then you get the lead up of Gary not telling John just how bad his situation has been, to the point to where other people who know him, other people who are immortals, were literally making fun of him a few seconds ago.
Yeah.
And kicked him out of the poker game. And the first person he calls is John.
Yeah. Gary, you got to provide proof of $100 million in net worth before you can come back.
It'd be even funnier if that's one of the reasons why he's calling John, to get a loan to come back to the poker game.
Oh God, this one would be this one would be well received. And then you invested in Marvel right before they declared bankruptcy.
Gary, stop betting on turtle races. I like that. Karen and Kane. Gary, if you don't leave this table on your own volition right now, you're not going to have the arms or legs to do so in the very near future. I love the idea of the other people, the other immortals threatening Gary, and Levi's just like, just go call John. Like, I don't want to deal with you. I'm not going to do anything to you, but they're going to, and I'm not going to stop them. Type of mentality. Oh, it was a car in the future, the DeLorean. Oh, put all your money into the DeLorean. The Titanic. Oh my God. Those are awesome. because like once to everyone here, once this gets written out well enough, even if it doesn't become like it can be released as a text, but that's our first end for the comic too.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, here's this written out. You can draw based on what you see here, and then we go based on the art style from there. And I have no problem with the comic starting off a little bit slow for the first couple of pages. But obviously, for the comic, you're probably not gonna get first couple pages are probably gonna be him hunting. Then you're gonna get a couple pages of the poker scene, but it's like the later version of the poker scene versus what was written or what was filmed.
Yeah.
And then you'd get a scene with he funded Waterworld. I love that. And as much as that's such a Levi thing to do, he would probably just lean back. Levi would probably just lean back, take a moment. Just taking the break from I probably need food. I just realized I've only had one meal. That's not good. I'll have to go figure out something to eat. Oh, you oh, that's in general, not in mine. I thought that was in mine. Have you finished writing out the skit for the cell skit?
No. I got distracted by this. I'm gonna do that tonight after we're done.
Because I also want him to do some Batman lines.
Okay.
If possible, just have him send all those at once.
Yeah.
And then we can do Batman versus Wolverine, but have it be the funny version that we want to write. And then the cell one as well. We can get a couple Wolverine skits out.
So I just asked Mr. ChatGPT to give me a list of poor investments a 300-year-old vampire could have made over the last 300 years, where he could have repeatedly lost his fortune, the latest being crypto, meaning Dogecoin. So 1720 invested in the South Sea Company. So I was told everyone in London was investing. The bubble burst hard, ruining thousands, including aristocrats and possibly one overconfident vampire. 1780s, French assignats, paper currency backed by seized church land. What could go wrong? Hyperinflation kicked in, currency became worthless. 1820s, Latin American mining schemes. Bolivar was hot back then. I invested in a Peruvian copper fantasy. European speculators lost fortunes on ghost operations. 1840s, railway mania in the UK. 1860s, Confederate war bonds. 1870s, diamond hoax of 1872. 1920s, Ponzi scheme number 1. 1960s, Beanie Baby prototype stuffed animals, unlabeled. 1970s, Pet Rock franchise expansion. He got into Pet Rocks. 1980s, he invested in Betamax over VHS. 86, Hands Across America. 1990, collected AOL CDs. 1999, Pets.com IPO. Enron stock. Bought up Borders, invested in Borders bookstores, and they lost to Barnes & Noble. Lehman Brothers. He opened a Blockbuster franchise in 2014, trying to do a retro revival.
That is perfect.
It even mentions Fire Festival. Bonus to whoever said that in the chat. And then 2021, Dogecoin.
That's amazing. Yes.
I especially love Betamax, AOL CDs, and the Borders bookstores.
We need a one-liner that describes Wolverine to a T, because I don't want this call to be very long, to be perfectly honest. I want Batman calls in, we hear Batman's voice. We get Batman going, I need help with, and then a one-liner that Batman would say to describe Wolverine. That's and it can't be like he's finding out about he already knows about his. Well, Angry and Claws, I got pointed out, could be a bunch of different people. Short, Angry Harry. Yeah, especially considering how tall Batman is. I can't use that one because that's a slur. A ferocious man with metallic claws.
Someone fused a honey badger with a knife drawer and gave it a gym membership.
As funny as that is, I don't think that's something Batman would say.
Right. Somebody gave a feral cat the super soldier serum. No. What's the, oh my God. What's the knife company that?
Oh my God, that is perfect.
People go door to door, selling it. What's it called again?
I don't. Oh, I can't remember the name.
Cutco.
There were a lot of companies that did that though.
Cutco.
I did that for a little while. I also sold POS machines.
I'm fighting a walking, talking Canadian Cutco set.
I'm like, this doesn't sound like something Batman would say, but at the same time, it's just like Batman said some ridiculous things. I could totally see Batman putting 2 and 2 together that quickly. But instead of kissing, it'd be something else.
I'm using one guy's dressed like Batman kissing Batman for sell. So I'm already using that joke.
Oh, okay.
Because that was in the original video.
Needs to add Canadian on that.
Yeah.
So edit this. Batman.
What, Batman? What are you fighting? Who are you fighting? I'm not sure. He's short, hairy, and stabby, like a berserker garden gnome. Nah. It's funnier in my head. Who are you fighting? I'm not sure, but it's like rabies gains sentience.
How do you spell Oracle? All of a sudden, I can't.
Oracle.
I'm not giving you more time. Did you finish it?
PhD?
Okay. So Batman calls in, I'm fighting a short, angry Canadian, Edward Scissorhands. And you didn't call Oracle because they're busy helping. He just got back up. This guy reminds me of a honey badger version of Bane. Oh, Bats. You don't need prep time for this one. You just need to stop holding back. I already almost killed him once. I'd rather he can't die. Like at all. Didn't you learn Kaioken and Destructo Disc with the Kamehameha? Of course, but cool. Let me grab some popcorn. Go ahead and power up. I have a camera recording the fight for reference later. He really won't die at all. We hear some grunts. We hear Logan sling some insults. I'll come up with some insults for that. Actually, we won't hear Logan at all. We'll just hear some grunts. Nope. But I would stop holding back before. Then we hear Logan say something about his mother. Okay, so what is Wolverine going to say about Batman's mother that we actively hear on the phone?
I don't know.
I don't want to make fun of the furry community, first of all. So let's not do that. I know, like Ian, that seems to be
Batman about Wolverine's mom or vice versa?
Wolverine about Batman's mother.
Yeah.
That neither one of those people would really understand that reference, sadly, Robert.
This is just Wolverine trying to get a rise out of him, right? Not actually knowing who his mother is.
Just trying to get a rise out of him. This is Wolverine. How about Batman turned out due to how she raised Batman?
Actually, I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
Let me guess. You're still living in mommy's basement. Well, technically, it's my basement. Oh God. I bet your mommy's real proud that her baby boy grew up to be a cosplayer. Let me guess, you still live in the basement? That one makes you think. I didn't realize that asking for mom jokes would galvanize the chat.
Sorry.
That's all it is right now is mom jokes.
Guess you still need babysitter with that. I bet mommy's real proud you run around. I bet mommy's real proud that you run around wearing a gimp suit and hit like we need something. There needs to be something there.
Wait, what? What do you have?
I bet Mom is real proud you run around wearing a gimp suit and hit like, and then need something to end that. No, you know what? No, I don't. He gets cut off. Kaioken. Batman yells Kaioken. That's what cuts him off. Levi just goes, oh, snap. Okay, that's the button right there. So Batman calls in. I'm fighting a short, angry Canadian Edward Scissorhands. And you didn't call Oracle because they're busy. He just got back up. This guy reminds me of a honey badger version of Bait. Oh, Bat, you don't need prep time. You just need to stop holding back. I already almost killed him once. I'd rather not. He can't die. Like at all. You didn't learn Didn't you learn Kaioken and Destructive Disc with the Kamehameha? Of course, but cool. Let me grab some popcorn. Go ahead and power up. I have a camera recording the fight for reference later. He really won't die at all. We hear some grunts and fightings. Nope, but I would stop holding back before. I bet Mom is real proud and you run around wearing a gimp suit and hit like Kaioken. Oh, snap. Hey, John. What's up, Levi? Is that popcorn? Click. Want some? And then we can even show the comic strip of Batman going Superman to Justice League. We may have a multiversal incursion on our hands. Yep. If we wanted to, it's not necessary, but we could totally have that up. Probably not the whole strip. I'd probably just have that bottom portion of the comic strip. At that point, though, I need one more thing in the script.
Okay.
And it's literally just John shocked as we see the bottom of the comic strip. So Levi's just like, want some? And John's like, oh, this is going to cause so many problems. I like that. That's a nice, quick script. I wonder if I can get a one-liner from... I know that Papa Popo can pull off Wolverine's voice relatively
Yeah.
decently. But I'd rather give Jossum a chance to be in a video. Do Martian Manhunter's Oreo addiction, possibly. I just heard a cat. Why did I hear a cat? You're a kitty down here? Wolverine is Deadpool's bestie. What do I do with the bones? Here's the thing, is that I effectively put, by doing this, I'm putting a Batman who knows Kaioken, Destructo Disc, and Kamehameha against Wolverine. So, and we get to hear Batman do Kaioken before anything else. And I'm pretty sure I spelled that right. I spelled that correct, right? K-A-I-O. K-A-I-O. Yep, I did. Okay. I think I might even still have a Kaioken from Popo somewhere.
This must be super exciting. We're all sitting here typing, and our viewer count is going up. Everyone is joining. We're in the middle of scripting a couple sketches. Feel free to jump into the chat and talk. Welcome to Villain Support.
Sorry, everyone. just a bunch of typing. Jossum answered like right away.
I saw. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got a quiet mouse and a loud keyboard. But I game with a controller. So you guys don't have to worry, like, if I'm gaming, as long as it doesn't require a keyboard, that's the max you would hear from that.
John will never call Deadpool for help with the Borg again. Oh my God. Does your mommy know you're out in your pajamas tonight?
That's a good one too.
Yeah, it is. Does your mommy know you're out in your pajamas tonight? Shame on her giving you spandex. Hope you don't catch cold.
So Jocelyn, I gave him permission to also do a few other zingers as well.
Yeah, he's
Just
gone.
kind of want to see what he does with it. He knows it's Wolverine fighting Batman. He knows Wolverine's character really well. So we're gonna get to hear that. Oh, you know what? This is even better. You want pizza? Probably pizza. I'll figure it. Just we'll do pizza. I'm tired and I need food. So I'm gonna need to wrap this up real quick. So
Yep.
hang on. Bye. All right. So we're changing the ending slightly. I really love this. So we go through the whole thing. I'm fighting a short, angry Canadian, Edward Scissorhands. And you didn't call Oracle because they're busy helping. He just got back up. This guy reminds me of a honey badger version of Babe. I'm doing a poor reaction because I'm trying to go through it quick. Oh, Bats, you don't need prep time. You just need to stop holding back. I almost killed him once. I'd rather not. He can't die. Like it all. Didn't you learn Kaioken along with the Kamehameha? Of course, but cool. Let me grab some popcorn. Go ahead and power up. I have a camera recording the fight. I'll do some things. For reference later, he really won't die at all. We hear some grunts from the blocking and everything. Nope, but I would stop holding back before. I bet Mommy's real proud you run around wearing a gimp suit and hitting like Kaioken. Oh, snap. Hey, John. What's it, Levi? Is that popcorn? I just love the idea that Levi just pulls it out from his desk. Puts it on the big screen. Want some? Just John's reaction to the part of the comic strip. Just, is that Wolverine? Yep. Did Batman just use the Destructo desk? Also, yeah. Do you want some popcorn or not? just continuously interrupting, like, are you going to sit down? I love this. This is a really funny, quick skit. And this way, you're going to send those to him, right?
Yeah.
Can you send the Batman lines to him too?
Where are they?
They're in the Levi to do.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Here, I'll hit I'll send this to you. There you go. Oh, that's cool. I can just forward it. That's awesome. I just sent it to you in Discord.
Cool.
There we go. No smoking in the back cave. And I think having the voice acting will, and especially that complete full-on one-liner of I'm fighting a short, angry Canadian Edward Scissorhands is a really nice non-issue for everyone here wondering why I don't go with something a little bit more oomph, 7 seconds, 7 to 8 second rule. And for most social medias, you have to play nice.
Yeah, no, I know. So the Cell versus Wolverine, the remake is going to be shorter. It's going to start with John going, Cell, when you say blades for hands, do you mean the hands are blades? Cell goes, yes. John goes, okay. And then I'll go to the TikTok video for the whole rundown of confusion that I ran into the first time. And then John goes, the Cell games don't start for another, 3 days? Cell goes, it's not one of Goku's gang. And John goes, can you describe something other than the hands? Cell goes, it looks like, who's that bad character? Batman, like Batman kissing Batman. John goes, wait. Do the blades come out of his hands? Cell goes, yeah. And John gets mad and goes, earlier you said he said it was blades for hands. So I was like, well, they're basically his hands. John goes, how many times do I have to ask you to be specific? Cell goes, do I have to answer that? John goes, yes. Actually, Cell, remember when we laughed about how funny it's going to be when Goku and friends figure out you can regenerate from a single cell? Haha, yeah? Why? So this is karma. What? He also can regenerate from a single cell. And Cell goes, so what does that mean?
You're missing out on a joke right here. If you rewind to the so this is karma, I was like, Cell, meet Karma. That's his name? No, I mean, enjoy your community. No, this is karma. Would Batman use laser pointers against Beerus? I don't think Batman and Beerus would ever happen. There is the funny ha-ha, but in all honesty, it would be similar to how Artemis does it, where he would literally just backhand him and Batman go, wee! Plunk. I love that one. That's a good line. That, like, Batman would have to have a line before that. But yeah. And it'd probably be mommy and daddy issues. Batman would fight Beerus with a buffet. Yeah, that would probably be the easiest way.
Okay, so it's Cell meet Karma. His name's Karma? No, his name's Wolverine. Karma as in what goes around comes around. Cell goes, I don't follow. John goes, he also can regenerate from a single cell. Cell goes, so what does that mean? And John goes, practice. Cell goes, what? John goes, kill him with energy blasts. Over and over and over. He's going to get angrier every time, though. It'll give us a chance to test your regeneration also. So wait, John. John goes, have fun. Hangs up.
I like the idea of practice. You don't need to explain. And he goes, wait, what? And I was like, enjoy the next however long it takes. Wait, John, wait, bye. I like that a little bit better than like the continuous energy blast thing.
I like the energy blast thing.
There's got to be a middle ground.
Or I can
you read that last bit for me one more time?
John goes, practice. And Cell goes, what? And John goes, kill him with energy blasts. Over and over and over. He's going to get angrier every time, though. That'll give us a chance to test your regeneration.
What if we do just take him out over and over and over again? They'll give us time. They'll give you time to even test your regeneration abilities. Cell goes, what if I just yeet him into the sun?
I was just gonna work on that and have John say, and Cell goes, so what if? And no, do not throw him into space. And Saul goes, oh, why?
We can just let it be all why. Let that be the button. Let people comment and talk. Or you can even be just the don't eat them into space and let that be the button. Because I'm gonna admit that there's a lot of potential to keep on having fun with it.
Yeah. Do not throw him into space. Oh, why? It's gonna give us a chance to test your regeneration.
So to tally, there is a portion where Wolverine does regenerate from a single cell, even without the magic crystal thing. Like the issue with Wolverine is that like it all depends, much like Batman, it all depends on who's writing it. He can like there's a portion of Wolverine that survives just his brain, but he's not regenerating. But yet he can regenerate that portion of it's so stupid. It's so ridiculous.
So
and then
maybe I'll change it to he also can regenerate from basically anything.
I think that's better.
Yeah. So then, so goes, so what if do not throw him into space? Oh, why? It's going to give us a chance to test your regeneration. What? Ow. And John goes, have fun. Hangs up.
What instead of an owl, it's just a grunt.
No, it's got to be
Gotta be an owl. Yeah,
it's got to be
like a nonchalant owl. Has to be an owl.
yeah. What? Ow! He stabbed my ass.
Yeah, there you go. Have fun. Bye. There you go. That's the button.
Yeah. Okay. You need to go get food for your family. It's 11 o'clock here. I need to get ready for bed. Everybody have an awesome night. It's been fantastic.
Slayer.
Wow. Xena, I hope that Xena, be safe, please.
See, we could keep having fun with it. We really could. But I think I like the way Chris has got it. We nailed it down. Same thing with the Batman skit. So that should get our Wolverine stuff out of the way. By the way, thank you for everyone for continuously making the Wolverine skit that I did do earlier continuously grow. It's past 50,000 now. The last time I looked. So thank you all for joining us. Remember, take it one breath, one step, one day at a time. I wish you all peace of mind, serenity of body, spirit, harmony, among others. And until the winds blow your sails our way, have an Acme day. And remember, have an Acme day is
a product of the villain. Having an Acme day with veteran ability your own. Have an Acme day.
Have an Acme day simply means to have the best day you possibly can. Bye now.